Another day, another instance of Nintendo making fucking idiots of themselves with absolutely absurd damage control of their terrible practices. What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming and I am not a happy camper today for the simple reason is, well, I've already said it at the start of the video. Nintendo are being Nintendo and it's getting on my fucking nerves at this point. So we all know in Splatoon 2, as in Splatoon 1, that Nintendo have decided to arbitrarily lock the online map mode and rotation behind a timed barrier where every 2 hours the selection of possible maps you can get will change, and there's nothing you can do about it other than just say, well, fuck it, I'll play for 2 hours and then we'll see what comes up next, or be a smart consumer and turn the game off, walk out and do something else productive for 2 hours. And you may be wondering why that is. Well, Rolling Stone sat down and they had a nice little chat, a nice little interview with Jordan Amaro, who is the Splatoon 2 designer. So he's a pretty big guy when it comes to the hierarchy of, well, power when it comes to actual development of the game. And we're going to look at some of the stuff that was said in this interview just now. So Rolling Stone opened up with, "You once said that when you went to work for Kojima at Konami, you possessed Westerners' knowledge that was a hindrance rather than a help." To which Jordan Amaro responded, "Hindrance is probably not the word. It is a hindrance if you persist in that way of thinking while the team is going in a different direction. It's not just language. It's a way to perceive games and the user. I see it on Splatoon right now. You look at Splatoon and then you look at Overwatch. These are two totally different games. Overwatch is a self-service game. You boot the game and say, hey, I like this mode, I like this character, and I'm only ever going to play this mode, this character, and this map. You're like, I'm going to get what I want. But in Japan, everything is tailored. You've probably heard, and I'll probably butcher this name horribly, Shina Iyengar? You've probably heard Shina Iyengar's TED Talk, in which she went to a restaurant in Japan and tried to order sugar in her green tea. The people at the cafe said, one does not put sugar in green tea, and then we don't have sugar. But when she ordered a coffee instead, it did come with sugar. In Japan, there's a sense of, we're making this thing for you, and this is how we think this is better enjoyed. This is why in Splatoon, the maps rotate every couple of hours, and the modes change. I bought this game, why can't I just enjoy it the way I want? That's not how we think here. Yes, you did buy the game, but we made the game, and we're pretty confident about how this game should be enjoyed. If you stick with us, and if you get past your initial resistance, you're going to have the time of your life with this game. You're really going to love it." To which Rolling Stone responded with one of the best questions ever. "You think you know what we want better than we know what we want?" And Jordan Amaro went in super full-on over-the-top damage control with his answer and explanation. And bear in mind, this is not broken English, it is just an extremely poorly worded answer. So here's what he had to say. "We think we know what you don't know you want. You think you know what you want, but we know what you will want once you understand it. There has to be some sort of effort from the player to play ball with the developer. Just like in a restaurant where there's a course menu. You enter the restaurant and this is the course today. It is displayed outside the restaurant. When you enter the restaurant, you know what you're going to eat. Once inside, if you want to eat something different, that's not how it works." To which Rolling Stone responded with Splatoon 2, there's definitely people who want to know why they can't play the salmon run mode all the time. Jordan, of course, damage controlled it as usual, and here's what he had to say. "I'm not allowed to speak on it because I'm not the game director, but what I can say and what I think can be said is that there are a lot of reasons. You have to trust us that if you could play Salmon Run online anytime, that would result in a worse experience for you and everybody." Also, real quick, what he was referencing right at the end there was the Salmon Run mode, which is the whole horde-based cooperative style mode that can only be played online at certain times of the day or certain times of the week or certain times of the month, or whenever Nintendo decide to actually let people pay for a mode that's in a game that they've already paid for. So, I don't know, whatever. But the point is, this is fucking retarded. To the absolute max. I've called this retarded before when they announced that it would be a rotation just like it was in Splatoon 1 that no one liked. Not that no one liked Splatoon 1, but no one liked the whole rotation thing. And when it was turned out that the Salmon Run mode is going to be a timed online only exclusive job, you know what I mean, that can only be played online at certain times. This is absolutely fucking retarded in any way, shape, or form. It is 100% indefensible. The reasons he is given and whatever is, it just proves how fucking out of touch Nintendo actually are with modern gaming. We all know, look at their online policies and their online whatever. Splatoon 1 did not have voice chat. Splatoon 2 and the Nintendo Switch barely have voice chat. They have it implemented in such a way that it's so goddamn fucking terrible that no one wants to use it. And no one can be bothered to use it. So Nintendo can just say, oh well, even if no one's using it, we gave them the option. We were right back in Splatoon 1. It doesn't fucking work that way, Nintendo. And for you to put these shitty, bullshit, nonsensical, I'm running out of, what's the word, synonyms for the same absolute crap you're trying to feed us, is just absolute bullshit at this point. And just to address one extra little bit of a comment he made at the end, to say that if you could play Salmon Run online at any time, it would be a worse experience overall. Get the fuck out of here. You know what would happen? When I bought Gears of War 2, when I bought Gears of War 3, and when I bought Gears of War 4, you know what would have happened if they had told me, well, you can play Horde mode every weekend between these times and that's it. That the game never would have been played again. I would have finished co-op, finished the story, probably played maybe one or two games of Horde just to test it out and say fuck off, and probably never play it again. When Halo 5 Guardians released, it didn't have Warzone Firefight. You know what happened when I finished that game? I turned it off and I never played it again for probably like 6 or 8 months. Then Warzone Firefight was added because it was a highly requested mode and highly requested feature. Guess what they didn't do? They didn't say you can only play this at the weekends for every 5 minutes, or you can play like 5 games at the weekend and whatever. And guess what? The game had, ever since that was added, the game has a massive resurgence in players because there are people, literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people out there who only play these cooperative modes. I don't play competitive multiplayer games that much anymore. Very rarely. When I turn on Halo 5, I'm playing Warzone Firefight. When I turn on Gears of War, I'm playing Horde. If they had told, could you imagine any company has the fucking gall just to say, well, we made this game, fuck you, play it on our terms. I'm glad I don't enjoy Splatoon 1 and 2. I've never played Splatoon 2, but I'm glad I don't enjoy Splatoon 1, because this just proves how fucking out of touch Nintendo and their design philosophies for not only their games, but you can tell in their apps, their infrastructure, and even the Nintendo Switch hardware, as well as many of their games, is just so fucking pants on head retarded. Guess what? You can't call me a blind fanboy hater, for the simple reason is I have a Switch. I've put a shitload of time into Zelda. I've put a shitload of time into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I've put a shitload of time into my Secret of Mana collection, my Neo Geo games, and Ultra Street Fighter 2. Guess what? Call me a fanboy from that. This is just bullshit. No one can defend this. And if you do, you're fucking stupid and you're clearly drinking the Nintendo Kool-Aid. It's fucking absolutely disgusting what they can do. And not only that, it's absolutely disgusting that people will defend this fucking bullshit. But hey, I'm sure some Nintendo Defense Force fanboys will see this video, so feel free to try damage control this bullshit, whatever is the best way to describe it. I don't know, you play our game the way we want, fuck you, we have your money, you don't like it, fuck off and deal with it. Defend that in the comment section below. I want to see it because I want to understand how your brain doesn't function. And I want to see what that looks like, I would say on paper, but in text form in the comment section. So, everyone else, leave a rational debate about this in the comment section below. For the simple reason is, if you legitimately think this is a good idea and you're not a member of the Nintendo Defense Force, just let me know how that works for you. If you're a common sense logical person and thinks this is bullshit and you shouldn't support these practices, and anyone who does defend all this thing is just a fucking handicap, again, let me know in the comment section below. You know what I will be doing? I will not be playing Splatoon 2, first off because I don't enjoy it, but I won't be playing anything from Nintendo that puts up these bullshit, arbitrary damage control limitations just because they can say, fuck you, we're Nintendo. We don't want you to do anything that could be comparable to 2017 gaming because we're Nintendo. So anyway, fuck it. I'm outie 5,000.